Welcome to another nighttime edition of Ideas to Inspire Ideas. Unnecessarily late Halloween edition. I am your chilling host, Bart Diley. Do you want to know what's even sadder? This mask belongs to a 3-year-old. Not even my own child's. It's his fault, he left it here. This idea is going to have a lot of setup, so please stick with me here. A few years ago, when I started my Patreon page, I made a video on my creative disciplines as a way to sell myself and my creativity. In it, I outlined my 6 main principles, the first one being character is paramount, about the personality of our characters, how they interact with the world and the story. And since then I've been thinking more about the metaphorical character of media, that personality that jumps out at you from the very first poster. So I'm adding that onto my old theory, saying personality is paramount, just so I can discredit it by saying personality can't stand on its own in video games. In my opinion, one of the greatest missed opportunities of all gaming is Naughty Bear, which takes the slasher movie setup and throws a bunch of adorable teddy bears in it. That concept sold me the second I saw it. I was watching all the trailers, was waiting for its release. I didn't buy it straight away because I didn't have money back then, but once I bought it, I played 1 level and gave up. The presentation was everything I wanted, but the gameplay focused so much on scoring points, on scaring the teddies, rather than the actual joy of, well, scaring teddies. It became repetitive very quickly. It was hard to single out the teddies when they all group in the house. I replayed it recently for this specific video, and it was just a stuttery mess. Again, I only played 1 level. As much as I remember that game all these years later, it's just something I don't want to go back to and play. So from this disappointment, I tried to have my own ideas, but what this is all leading up to is a game that is better mechanically, but none of the personality. Because the problem is there was actually 2 main inspirations for this. The first was Naughty Bear, and the other was Harper's Island, a 13-episode murder mystery whodunit series that really copped out, that promoted itself as 1 murder per episode, including 1 episode where the only murder was the guy shot himself in the leg by accident. Oops. Like I've said before, I'm not the biggest fan of horror, but I was intrigued by this. I thought, it's on TV, they've got standards, can't show anything that gruesome, can they? Oh my god, I couldn't be more wrong! But I stuck with it and actually tried to figure out the mystery on my own, eventually concluding that it was the black guy. Not because I'm racist, but because it was mostly process of elimination, and the website formatted it so the actual killer was separated from the others, so they were never even a suspect to me. I am so sorry I screwed that up so badly. But if you actually have seen the show, you'll already know it was kind of badly executed. But finally getting to the actual game idea, it was you moving into a quiet little town, sussing out your victim neighbours, and setting traps to slaughter them. The quick comparison would be the Hitman series for serial killers, obviously. And there was 2 main strategies that you could work with. Either killing lots of people secretly and scare people with the rumours of people disappearing, or wait for a big holiday and kill a massive group of people all at once. Lovely. And the goal would be to empty out the entire town, leaving it just you and your chosen romantic target. The area I put most of my thought in was how the ending worked, where you're down to the final three people: the killer, the last victim, and the survivor. The final girl trope. It begins in the killer's bunker, where you're about to kill the final victim while the survivor watches. The way it plays out can just go in so many different directions. You can kill the victim and let the survivor go. You can kill the survivor. You can chase the survivor to the edge of town and then get killed by the survivor. You can get killed by the last victim. Kill the victim and the survivor does fall in love with you. Let the survivor go and commit suicide. Chase the survivor but they still escape, and then you commit suicide before the cops come and find you. Chase the survivor halfway and then something happens. I was just spitballing. I don't know how the logistics was supposed to work. I wouldn't use this idea for myself nowadays anyway. I've never been big into grim dark fantasy or even cynical humour. But as I'm getting older, I want to see more positive messages and more happy stories, and even promote sadness and other emotions as a balance to happiness, as a good thing. So, should I be recommending other people do this story? Like, does that make me a hypocrite? Like, in the end, you do you. I'm not going to stop anyone's creativity. I'm just not sure of my own morals. Just leave my name out of it. Hell, on Twitter, Pushing Up Roses did a thread suggesting a remake of Sleepaway Camp from the killer's perspective. And if you know the twist of Sleepaway Camp, that's f***ing revolutionary. I would support that idea more than my own. Make that happen. Thanks for watching. This is my verbal declaration that I will not sue anyone for using the previous outline to create their own work, regardless of how much fame or money you might get from it. I'm definitely not the kind of artist who thinks I can own a concept. However, I would like to see what comes out of this video just for comparison and curiosity. If you do make something or find an existing piece that's similar, please let me know through Twitter or Facebook or email, and I'll happily check it out. And if you want to see the ideas I am working on for myself, please visit my Patreon page for samples and previews, no payment required. Happy creating, Bard Riley out!